Hello everyone, welcome to Chemsitry Eduhub channel. Today we are going to talk about the chemical bonding chapter, which is a second part of the fundamentals of chemistry. So what is chemical bonding? Why does this occur in the nature? Let us understand the concepts clearly. So if you consider atoms individually, few atoms are stable and few are unstable. That means few atoms can exist in the form of atoms and few cannot exist in the form of atoms. So which can exist in the form of atoms? For example, if you consider inert gases like helium, neon, argon, krypton, etc. are very much stable and they can exist as atoms as helium, neon, argon. But few are unstable. So what they do, they try to combine. Now they try to combine with other atoms. So atoms of same element or different elements combine to give molecules or compounds. Atoms, if they combine with the same element, they form molecules. If they combine with different elements, they form compounds. Now, what is this combining capacity? We call it the valency. What is valency? The combining capacity. The combining capacity of atoms with other atoms is called valency. Valency is defined as the combining capacity of atoms with other atoms. Or you can say the other definition is the number of atoms of hydrogen or twice the number of atoms of oxygen, twice the number of atoms of oxygen that combine with the atom of an element. With the atom of an element is called valency. So whichever is simple, you can learn that and write in the exam. So with hydrogen, if the X atom is combining, so 1 will be its valency. Twice the number of oxygen atoms is with oxygen. If the X element has to combine, it will combine twice. So its valency is equal to 2. So this valency or the combining capacity can be understood with the help of chemical bonding. So what is chemical bonding? It is the force of attraction. The force of attraction between atoms of a molecule. Suppose if you consider water, the best example is H2O, water. H is an atom and O is an atom. These two are having some kind of attractive forces between them, which is holding the hydrogen and oxygen together. Such force of attraction is called chemical bonding. So the reason for the chemical bonding is, first thing is lowering of energy. Why do two atoms combine? It is because the energy is lowering, and we can also explain with the help of electronic configuration. So what is lowering of energy? If you consider individual hydrogen and oxygen atoms, their individual potential energy is higher. Potential energy is high in both the cases. But when these two combine and form H2O molecule, their potential energy is comparatively low. Since the energy is getting low, the stability will increase. Stability is high because energy and stability are inversely proportional. So, since the individual atoms are unstable because of the high energy, they combine to form molecules and become low energetic and high stable, and hence every atom tries to combine to form a molecule or a compound. So atoms in the uncombined state are very much unstable, so they try to get stability. So while they are forming the bond, suppose hydrogen combining with hydrogen atom, they form hydrogen molecule. Hydrogen molecule is very much stable compared to hydrogen atom. These are unstable. Okay, now what happens while the bond formation? Energy is released. Energy is released. The extra energy present in hydrogen atoms is released outside, and hence the H2 molecule is of low energy and high stable. Low energy and highly stable. And such reactions where the energy is released is called exothermic reactions. They are exothermic reactions. So, bond formation, chemical bond formation is always exothermic. Let us try to understand the electronic theory of valency, which explains the bonding with the help of valence electrons. So this was proposed by two different scientists, Cosell and Lewis. The postulates are: the electrons present in the outermost shell or orbit of an atom participate or take part in the bond formation, and we call them as valence electrons, and the outermost shell is called valence shell. Suppose if you look at, this is the nucleus of an atom. If there are 3 shells in an atom, so the last shell is considered to be the outermost shell, and you call it valence shell, and the electrons present in them are called valence electrons. So the nuclear attraction on this valence shell electrons will be less, so they will readily participate in the bond formation. So hence valence electrons are very much important. So if you look at the noble gases, they are already very much stable, because in the valence shell the electrons are completely filled. So you will have completely filled configuration in the noble gases. So there will be 8 electrons in the outermost shell, and we call it octet. So because of the octet in the outermost shell, noble gases are already stable and inert. But other elements, other atoms of other elements try to get the 8 electrons just like the noble gases, and hence they use the valence shell electrons to form the bonding and get stability. Then the atoms, how they combine to get stability? They can combine in 2 different ways. What are those 2 ways? One is by transfer of electrons. By transfer of electrons from one atom to another. One atom to another, you can see the transfer of electrons taking place. Such valency is called electrovalency. So the valency that is attained by the transfer of electrons is called electrovalency. Apart from that, by sharing of electrons also, from sharing of electrons between 2 atoms, you can see the bond formation. Such valency is called covalency. So accordingly, you will have 2 different types of bonding possible in the nature. The 5th postulate is the octet rule. The attainment of the attaining of 8 electrons in the valence shell of an atom, by loss of electrons or gain of electrons or by sharing of electrons is called octet rule. So an atom can lose electrons, an atom can gain electrons, or an atom can share electrons to get 8 electrons in their outermost shell. Such rule is called octet rule. So according to electronic theory of valency, an atom is stable only if it gets 8 electrons in the outermost shell. There is an exception. If you look at helium atom, helium atomic number is 2. It will have completely filled outermost shell, that is 1s2, but it has only 2 electrons instead of 8. Such configuration is called duplet configuration. Though it has duplet configuration, it is stable because the valence shell is completely filled. This is about electronic theory of valency.